Hey, what's up, guys? This is Brian from WhisperStatus74, and this video is again about Netflix. And we did a video last week, I believe, on why I thought Netflix didn't look great. And my opinion on that has changed slightly, not 100%, as I do feel like a lot of these shows are filmed to be gritty, to be a little muted in terms of their color and HDR. And a lot of you guys have commented about certain shows that you really like and think look amazing. So please, in this video in the comments, list what shows you like so others on the channel and the community can see the shows you think look the best. For me, I found Netflix to be very underwhelming when I first purchased the 4K display, simply because it was 4K versions of Breaking Bad, shows that I loved, but just didn't look great, didn't show 4K in its best light, and also HDR was kind of tacked on certain shows. Marco Polo was the first one I had seen in Dolby Vision, which looked amazing. The problem is I don't always love the shows that go with them, so it's much more. There's plenty of them now, but what I did notice in the comments too was the devices you guys are on and what you see, what you're viewing Netflix through, making a huge difference in what you see. So since that video, I've been looking at the Netflix app through a PS4 Pro, through an Xbox One X, through my Blu-ray, my 4K Blu-ray player, through my PS3, through my projector, which is connected to a PS4, and each of them looks slightly different. Now, obviously, the other ones, the PS3, the PS4 upstairs, they're connected to different displays, so they're really hard to decipher what looks better in terms of black level, things of that nature. But I will say, sorry, I messed up my camera. Looking at this on the same display, all three devices through the same splitter, being the HDMI splitter, being a 4K Blu-ray player, a Samsung, a Xbox One X, and a PS4 Pro, all on the same inputs in terms of their picture, the picture settings. So it's not like I'm jumping through picture settings, but I have noticed that the Xbox One X is noticeably cleaner and better black level compared to the onboard Sony 900E app itself. Now, what's interesting though is I noticed with the 900E's app, and this is not just the 900E, this could be for any display out there, there was more noticeable blooming. The picture wasn't nearly as dark in terms of black level, where looking at what you're looking at now is the Xbox One X, the black level is very strong, blooming is minimal, and the picture is much better and much sharper. So I'm not sure if that's the up conversion of the display, or I'm sorry, of the console versus the display. Now, I will tell you that typically when you're watching a 4K Blu-ray, most of the times they'll say, if you're watching a 1080p Blu-ray, for instance, to let your TV do the upscaling more than the player. For instance, if you're watching a 1080p Blu-ray, you put it in your 4K Blu-ray player, a lot of manufacturers suggest that you let the TV upscale, meaning you set your 4K player to 1080p or to auto and let the TV do the upscale. What I mean by that is your upscale from your TV should be better than a $500 Blu-ray player if your TV is $2,000. Now, certain manufacturers are known for better upscale than others, namely Sony. So it was interesting to see that the Xbox One X had much better picture quality in regards to Netflix. So my question to you guys, as you were so forthcoming with the other Netflix video, is what do you see when you're looking at or what are you viewing your Netflix through? Are you viewing it through an Apple TV? Or are you using the onboard operating system of your display? Are you using the smart features? Now, I namely don't use the smart features on my display. I also don't use the ARC of my display. I have a dedicated AV receiver, so I'll use the surround sound through any of the other devices, namely my Blu-ray player, so I can get the discrete non-compressed sound. But I was pretty caught off guard by it, how much better it looked. Now, what I said before still holds true in my opinion. A lot of these shows are still very gritty, still very muted. Ozark, they look fine in terms of 4K, but their color palette, I mean, they're supposed to be gritty, you know. But Daredevil, things like that. The new Daredevil looks great, season 3. But a lot of them don't look what you would think in regards to 4K as far as it being clean. But this video is not about that. This video is more about what are you guys watching 4K on? Or I should say watching Netflix through. Apple TV, onboard display, your game consoles, your Blu-ray players. So I'm interested to hear in the comments what you guys think. And if you do have a dedicated player, an Xbox One X, a PS4 Pro, whatever you have, a 4K Apple TV, do that experiment for me at home. Try and run it on all those different things, watch the same content, and see how it looks, and tell me if you see a noticeable difference. You might see that with your Dolby Vision sets, things like that. Just try and keep the settings the same, and then let me know in the comments what you think. If you don't see a noticeable difference, I will tell you from the Sony 900E's Netflix and the Xbox One Netflix, I've noticed a very big difference. Like I said, watching Haunting on Hill House, I saw it just had a almost grayed out look to it in comparison to how it looked on the Xbox One X. It just seemed to have more punch on the Xbox One X. Even the Netflix menu. Now, quickly, if you have a Sony display, a newer Sony display, when you're watching this scene, for instance, this is just the menu. It might not be the same when content is playing, but newer Sony displays shut off their local dimming. I do not know why. Even with the new Z9F, I know the later iterations of the 930E, the 900F, you will see huge blooming and huge flash lighting because local dimming is off. Now, I don't know if this trailer counts as content running. I don't think it does, but if you're in these menus and you have a new Sony display, I don't know anything about the other manufacturers, but you will see flash lighting because the local dimming is not functioning. It will kick on when the content is actually playing. I know that for some of the other displays that also is for the Apple TV menus, the Amazon menus, as well as the console menus. You'll need to have content playing for the local dimming to kick in. So it's really hard to judge the menus. My local dimming is on for all of them, so I can see the menus. The menus on the Xbox One X are much darker than the menus on the Sony 900E's menu. Unfortunately, you can't see it here through the camera, but it is lightly, it's not as, and I wish I could show you in the actual content without getting flagged, but I can't. It's not a night and day difference, but it is different. It does look better on the Xbox One X than it does on the actual TV's onboard Netflix app. So again, I'll say the question again. Please let me know in the comments what you're watching in regards to Netflix. Amazon, same with Amazon and the others. But if you guys at home with your displays, if you can just run that for me, let me know if you see any difference on the picture quality. I do see a difference. Maybe not in the menus as much, but during the content I do. Unfortunately, I can't show you that. And I'm not sure it would be discernible through the camera anyway. But I do find that Xbox One X for me looks better. Please let me know in the comments again what you're watching and if you notice a difference between them. I hear 4K Apple TV supposed to look amazing. I never thought Netflix looked terrible, guys. Don't misunderstand me. I just think that some of the content is, especially maybe as I think as Michelle Alexandria pointed out to me, a little shout out to Michelle, it could be the dreary, dreadful content that I'm watching. It could be the true crime, haunting Hill House stuff. So Michelle, little shout out to Michelle. She pointed that out, that it might be the horrible content that I'm watching, and it's very bleak by nature, so I'm not watching a lot of comedy, so that might actually be the culprit, and both these videos might be a waste. But give it a look, give it a try, let me know what you think, and thank you as always, guys. You guys are amazing. The comments, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Let me know what you think. Take care.